All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us on the news briefing for this Wednesday. Community Bridges, a well-known organization that we all know about, and our County Department of Emergency Management are collaborating on an emergency awareness program that is specifically for the residents of Pajaro. This campaign is really robust. It includes signs, posters, and bilingual videos for residents. Here to tell us more about how this came together is our friend Ray Cancino from Community Bridges. And then if we are able to get someone from Department of Emergency Management on, we'll certainly include them. Hi, Ray. Thanks very much for joining us today, and tell us more about this program.
Yes, absolutely. So, as a result of last year's flood, we were reminded about the need of emergency preparedness and have been working with our partners at the Department of Emergency Services as well as North County Fire Department to create not only trilingual videos as well as opportunities in which we can better engage with residents in North Monterey County. So part of the outreach efforts is not only to ensure that all languages are having the same level of access of some of these emergency preparedness to get ahead of potential incidents, not just flooding, but also earthquakes and other types of disasters. But we're also hoping that more people get online or get connected with the Emergency Response Service Center through the Department of Emergency Management Services in Monterey County. So ensuring people download the app, are registering themselves so they can get immediate alerts when evacuations occur or when additional information becomes available from the county information office to the residents. What we've noticed throughout the flood was obviously that a lot of people had access to information from different medias. Most traditionally, you all, both print and video media were very important in that part of the information. But the reality was that there was a lot of folks that do not have digital access, that are digitally illiterate to get access through social media or other means, which is the fastest way to get the word out during these emergencies. But people are really in North Monterey County really also dependent on print and visual media that they can access and consume right then and there in the areas in which they are most likely to frequent or shop. And so our strategy was also to include that level of integration to ensure that people that are going and shopping at any one of the bakeries or Pajaro Center or getting their tire fix or whatnot, one of the businesses is able to see a sign, do a QR code, sign up for the emergency response information system from the county, as well as ensure as a constant reminder of free access to how to prepare for emergencies, what to pack, what information you might need during the course of information. So for us, it was a really comprehensive project that we were working with Disaster Emergency Services of Monterey County, but also our partners at North Monterey County Fire, which not only has brought us all together to know each other by name, but also helps, I think, strengthen our resolve and our response to the community in North Monterey County. And we hope that more people sign up to be on the alert system, as well as more people are aware of how to prepare in case of an emergency. And so since we're now in the midst of the rainy season, it seems like a very important thing to remind people of and to always be prepared, as we don't know what weather system might come that might cause the same type of devastation that we saw last year.
So this is really a way, Ray, and back me up on this. This is really a way to look at Pajaro and their specific needs for preparedness, because I'm sure many people who live along river areas in our county are very nervous this winter. But for Pajaro, it's a different level of anxiety. So I think you've really touched on a way to reach them, where they are, the type of ways they like to be contacted. Are you getting some response for the rollout that I know this rollout is just happening, but what's the response been so far?
Yeah, the wonderful partners of the business partners, which are going to have the A-frames and have been able to submit the flyers to community members, have been really positive so far. And so it's our goal is to kind of raise the current level of engagement of those folks, logging in to being part of the emergency response reverse 911 call system. And so Our goal is that hopefully this can be replicated in other areas, and potentially we can seek other community areas in which this type of inundated information sharing and also directed information can kind of uplift those areas which maybe have low participation rates. And so I think that the next step for a Department of Emergency Management would be to look at what other high-prone emergency area locations in our county are not being tied into the same system of awareness, and then focusing in strategies that are specifically dealing with those populations and individuals. And so this is, I hope, a replicative project, and we're also making the videos. They are generic, so in the sense that they are to be shared and across all of Monterey County or across all of the state in which emergencies are occurring. And so it's really an asset and a tool for all our community members to be better prepared, regardless if you live in the mountains and might get inundated with a fire, to an individual living right next to the river shed and potentially be flooded. So.
Where will people be able to access the videos? It sounds like they're social media centric, but not everybody is, connected that way. So how will you be using those?
So the videos will be, yes, primarily doing a lot of paid social media ads for people to see them and access and digest them. They're going to be available also on the Department of Emergency Management's website, as well as Community Bridges' website. The QR codes will be posted on these A-frame flyers, so people can literally just take a photo. It's going to directly link them to the videos into our emergency preparedness page. And so that's kind of the primary focus of what we're trying to get people to digest the videos. But we're also going to do paid media, which means that they're going to be on your Facebook links, and hopefully people press play and go through the 3 minutes of being better prepared.
And what would be the timeline for this? I know we're launching now because we're kind of at the beginning of that rainy season, but this kind of this has legs for other disasters as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that our first trial run is to probably run it through April. And then, obviously you can't leave A-frames out there forever, or else they get tattered or people tag and graffiti them. And so I think it's about the opportunity to kind of develop ongoing messaging of communication from county to residents. And so they're available for any public facing or large public information events that we might have between now and then. I believe that we will be probably taking them down, storing them, and then putting them back up on a yearly basis as we kind of start the rainy season in late November, early December, and then taking them down towards the end of that rainy season, which is usually at the end of April, or at the beginning of April, I should say.
Well, we hope. We just got to get through it, right? Ray, thanks very much. And now, if people would like, there could be businesses that you may not have tapped into that might be interested in A-frames or some of the other collateral you have for this. How should they reach out?
I'll put my contact information here. The A-frames are expensive, so we have set them up to be 20 locations across Pajaro, but other collateral, printed material and whatnot, will gladly provide, as well as posters. And so it's really about any business that might be willing or wanting to ensure that not only their community, their patrons, their staff members, are safe, but the neighborhood is safe. So we just want to thank all the business owners that have been willing to participate.
Great program. Thanks so much, Ray, for sharing this with us. We look forward to seeing those A-frames out and seeing what the videos online. All right. Again, thank you very much, Ray, and thanks for handling this one on your own. Well, among the services and support for flood survivors last year was the Small Business Administration and its loan program. The application period for those loans is now closed, but we are very happy to be joined again by Marielli, Carty de Rosario from the SBA. Excuse me, I almost gave you a new job. And Marielli, we hope you'll tell us about the data that's come out about SBA loans from Monterey County. Plus, you have some new information on new assistance.
Sure, of course. Hi, everyone. Did you hear me well, Maya?
Yes,
Perfect.
we hear you.
So, as you remember, we were with FEMA on Monterey County last year, offering disaster assistance to those affected by the severe storms. And on January the 3rd, we reached the deadline to apply for disaster assistance due to these storms, right? And we have received until today, until that day, I'm so sorry, 155 applications just for the Monterey County, and we have approved more than $3.5 million just for the Monterey County, which is a very good amount of dollars for that declaration specifically. And it's very important to let you know, Maya, and the community of Monterey County, that for those who already applied and their application is still in process, they should go to disasterassistance.sba.gov to see the status of their application and provide any document previously requested by the SBA, if any. If their loan has been dispersed, they should log on lending.sba.gov to register their account, where the SBA borrowers can view loan details, make payments, and access their account status. So that is a very good information for those who are waiting on the status, or just for them to know where or when they have to make any payments to their loans. I will put that information on the chat, Maya, as well. And we have another declaration going on. I'm so sorry. And this declaration is the CA20116. This declaration is for the California Salmon Fishery closure. And this is very important because during the months of April and October 2023, several counties of the state of California, including Monterey County, were affected by this closure. And that is the reason why SBA has made a disaster assistance available to the businesses and nonprofits organizations. It's very important because in this declaration specifically, not the other that I was talking to, this is just for businesses and nonprofits, and they can borrow an EADA loan up to $2 million. And it's very important for them to know that the residents, they cannot apply on this declaration because it's just for those affected by the California salmon fishery closure. And that is the reason why I am making a point on that. For those who were affected by this declaration specifically, they can request our assistance through our lending.sba.gov secure website. Okay, is there any question?
If there are any questions for Marielli, you can go ahead and put them in the chat, or if you just want to ask them, you can certainly do that. I do have a question, and somebody else might want to pop in as well. When we talk about a business for the salmon fisheries, are we talking about a fishing? I don't know if you can give us some guidelines on what type of business would be covered under this.
Any business that were affected by the California salmon fishery closure. It's not necessary to be a fisher business, but if the business was affected by the California salmon fishery closure, they can apply for this disaster assistance plan.
So this could be someone who's incorporated as a business, as a fisherman who is affected, but also a processor, someone who was expecting the salmon and then it didn't happen. Exactly.
That's what I meant. Exactly. Okay. So the business is affected. They just have to be affected by the California salmon fishery closure to apply for a disaster assistance with us on this declaration particularly. So yes, you're right. And then I do have some handouts that you sent, which I'll be sharing with the media partners.
after this is over. And Marielli, would you like to give the information again in Spanish? Because we do have some Spanish language media on.
Yes, of course. I will start with the first declaration that we were working on, and then I will translate the other declaration that we just talked about, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So, hola, saludos a todos. Yo soy Marielli Carty de la SBA. Bien importante que estábamos brindando servicio en el condado de Monterey a las personas afectadas el año pasado por las severas tormentas invernales. Y en cuestión de la data, hemos recibido más de aproximadamente 155 aplicaciones solo para el condado de Monterrey. Hemos aprobado más de 3.6 millones de dólares solo para el condado de Monterrey, lo cual es un muy buen número. Y para todas esas personas que solicitaron hasta la última fecha, que fue enero 3 de este año 2024, y que no saben el estado de su aplicación, pueden ir a disasterloanassistance.sba.gov para verificar el estatus provisto por la SBA. Además, proveer cualquier documento esperado por la SBA, si alguno. Y para aquellos que ya su préstamo ha sido desembolsado, pueden ir a la página de lending.sba.gov y registrar su cuenta para saber cuáles son los detalles de sus préstamos. Por ejemplo, cuándo y cómo pagar. Es bien importante. Esta información la voy a colocar a través del chat para que lo tengan disponible. Además, hay otra declaración de desastre corriendo actualmente. Esta desastre es por el cierre de las diferentes pescaderías en el estado de California. Específicamente, uno de los condados que ha sido afectado por este cierre ha sido el condado de Monterrey, lo cual hace que la asistencia de la SBA esté disponible para todas aquellos negocios y organizaciones sin fines de lucro que hayan sido afectados por este cierre de las pescaderías. Puedan solicitar hasta $2 millones en lending.sba.gov. De igual manera, voy a poner la información en el chat para que la tengan disponible. Si tienen preguntas, estoy a la orden. Thank you so much, Maya. That'll be all.
Thank you so much, Mary. And we really appreciate you coming back here again. We haven't seen you in a while, so it's really nice to have you. Are there any questions for Marielli on the SBA loans for the floods, the wrap-up, or the salmon fisheries issue? It looks like you have covered everything. Thank you so much. And maybe there'll be another disaster and we'll see you again.
I hope no.
Or yes or no. That's a yin and yang thing. Anyway, thanks very much. All right. We have our great last topic here today. We often have our colleagues from Monterey County Works, the Monterey County Workforce Development Program. We have them on to share information about services for job seekers, but there is a very robust program for employers as well. Lucy Iracheta is here with one of our local businesses who has taken advantage of one of those programs. And Lucy, welcome to the news briefing.
Good afternoon, Maya. Thank you for having me on today. Again, my name is Lucy Iracheta, Deputy Director of Business Services with Monterey County Works, part of Monterey County Workforce Development Board. And we also have Ms. Pearl Sanchez on the line also to fill in and talk about some services. But our overall highlight is our employer, Ms. Linda Ausonio Grier, who has utilized our on-the-job training program and has hired multiple participants from within our program. Linda, would you like to speak about your experience with our program?
Sure. So 4 people, I believe, through the program. 2 of the individuals were sent to us from the workforce program from Terry. One of them is a young man who has no work experience. So he went through working with your people with resume skills and interviewing skills, did the Stratify, which is very helpful for me. We use something similar here in our office. It's called Predictive Index, which is not a test. It's a survey of your interests and where you might be best suited for looking at job description, types of jobs to go into, especially if you're young and really have no idea, or some of us are older and still trying to figure out what we want to be when we grow up. So the Stratify has been really beneficial for me to look at the individual outlook on life and on areas that they seem to be more focused on. So that helps to define whether it would be a good fit for them, because my crew, I do property management. We have our own maintenance crew. So we've got service techs and maintenance individuals that are working out in commercial and residential properties to do plumbing repairs, landscaping, electrical repairs, all those kinds of things. If you do the Stratify assessment and you show to be more of an ocean person or more of an indoor office person, then this is probably not going to be a good fit. But if we see signs that that's somebody that's really wants to be working with their hands and be kind of moving around all the time, that ends up making it more beneficial for somebody for us to look at, even though they're coming in with no skills, that might be somebody that would ultimately work out in the line of work that we're looking for. So we also have had 2 individuals that have came to us with experience. They went through the program looking for guidance looking for employers that are searching for employees. You know, one of the biggest problems most employees have or employers have is finding people that actually want to show up to work. And if they're already involved in the program, they're showing initiative. So for me, that's a big benefit, because they're looking to better themselves, they're looking to move forward with a career path. So that gives me a lot more comfort level when it goes to interviewing individuals and bringing them in as prospects for our company. From what I've heard from the 4 individuals that we've sent through the program, or have gone through the program, 2 of them we sent to the program because they're young people coming in, they're new hires. We were looking to kind of offset some of our employee costs. So we do get that benefit as an employer with getting some of their salary covered while we are in the process of getting them trained up. So the 2 that have experienced the program probably isn't quite as beneficial to them, although, like I said, one of them came to us through the program, so obviously beneficial for us. The other 2, the younger ones, it's been very beneficial for them because they really have no life skills in the workforce. And so the program is really providing a lot of that information with interviewing and getting the resume written up and how to present themselves when they do get a call to come in for interview and those types of things. So there's a lot of good things going on with the program.
Thank you, Linda.
Lucy,
Yes.
I was going to ask if you wanted to talk a little bit about that. Sounds like a fantastic program that Linda's business was able to take advantage of.
Yes, so our on-the-job training program, our OJT agreements, employers can benefit from a payroll reimbursement to the employer based on a monthly reimbursement or end of contract term. We do pay between $5,000 and $8,000 in payroll reimbursement dependent on the contract agreement. We do require for the employer to fill in a bit of paperwork up front, but we do a master contract, which is good for 1 year, and then additional amendments of an agreement as participants come in. Our staff stay with the participants in collaboration with the employer to do mid-year or midpoint reviews, end reviews, and as Linda had mentioned, our Stratify assessment. Our clients do go through reading, writing, and a math assessment through our work keys, and then Stratify, as Linda had mentioned, is a personality assessment based on pictures, and then within the picture selection, the participant gets a printout of their scope of interest, personality. It's actually quite fascinating. It's about a 3-minute assessment that gives you a lot of information. Pretty neat what technology is doing these days. But yes, we have gotten referrals from Linda on some clients that she had considered for her employment that we enrolled in our program as a reverse referral, and then direct hires that we had Linda interview that she accepted the positions she had available. Another part of our program is the employer does work and give us a training plan. So this program is an opportunity for participants or all Monterey County residents to come in and learn on the job training if they are having maybe some barriers with certain types of employment, or they do not want to go back to school, or they would like to learn a new trade. So it's a great opportunity. It's a win for our participants and a win for our employers with the additional added, almost like HR support. We're there, our staff is there to guide along to help assist the employer, even with all the paperwork, and with the participant to offer that extra support as needed to guide them to a successful employment, and along with additional supported services, like if the employer requires certain work boots, pants, a uniform, anything specific that's in their employee handbook, we could provide that to the participant.
Boy, win-win is really a great description of this program. And I see Linda's been shaking her head up and down, as you've been talking. I can see in a job like, Linda, that you have in your business, you might have people kind of coming and going, people kind of launching in and then maybe moving on. It sounds like you're trying to train people that you can, they can be happy here, they're happy with their work, and you can have a more stable workforce.
So we do have a very stable workforce, which is part of my problem because I have a very aged workforce. So we have a crew of about 10 people, and a lot of my crew are well up there in age. A lot of them have been with us for 20 plus years. And so we're trying to bring in some new fresh blood of hopefully people that will want to stick around for the long term. And we do try to treat our employees fairly and provide them with benefits to go along with sticking around for a long term. One of the gentlemen that we did get, one of the things that he was looking for was to find a position where he was that wasn't seasonal and that would have benefits. And so he came to us with a fair amount of background of for the field work that he's doing with landscaping. We've actually put him into our lead landscape position, and he's getting full-time work, year-round work with benefits, which he was not getting before. So that is definitely a win-win for us. On the younger kids that we have that have come in, yeah, we would really like to find somebody that we can kind of mold into the position and train them up the way that we want them to be trained up to do the work that we need, and then keep them for the long term. And I do have a couple of those. I have one individual who's going to be taking over our supervisor position, who actually started with us, not through your program, which did not exist then, back when he was in high school over at North County. And so we do try to keep our people well compensated so that they do stick around.
I was also very interested in your description of the hiring process, where the type of people that you're looking for. And you seem to get really good results from people who have come through the Monterey County Works program. And I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit more about that, because there really are benefits to the services that the Works program is providing to these job seekers that are really paying off about the time they come and interview with an employer like you.
So, they putting together their resume so that it shows what their strong suits are, taking a look at the Stratify to see if they might be a good fit. Of course, we provide a pretty in-depth job description, which is then presented to the different candidates so that they can review that, see if it's something that they're interested to try to find that matchup. And there have been resumes that have been sent to us. I'm like, I don't think that's going to be a really good fit. It's really much more of a hands-on manual labor type position, and this looks like somebody that's probably more situated for indoor or a desk job or whatever it may be. But having that opportunity to look through a couple of different resumes is always helpful also.
It's definitely a matching process. So a matching for the employer to say yes, and then our clients to say yes to the position. So it's a lot more in depth than just going on Indeed and applying and somebody looking at your resume saying yes, no, maybe not. It gives more background to the employer to review the candidates that we have more information on, and then same with the employer to really express the need for the positions that they need filled.
This is also really a good advertisement for the people who are the job seekers who may wonder, should I go through your program? Should I be on my own? It sounds like when they go through your program, they are really ready to move in to a job with the support that you've given them.
Yes, with the multiple different clients we do get in, there are different interests, and then they are guided with career advisors into the right direction. Some come in and want a certified training, or they want to go back to a community college, or they just really need help with the direct hire, where the on-the-job training programs also come into effect to help. So multiple levels of help to the participants and the employers in our community.
This is just such a great happy marriage, but between these businesses and this program. We really are so grateful, Linda, that you came and shared your story with us today, and we look forward to with Lucy and the other staff to tell us more about good programs that are coming out of Monterey Works. We appreciate you both being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And thanks everyone for joining us on the news briefing this week. Our next briefing is next week, and we'll see you then.